cooperativism was like the heart of what we wanted to do. And it's the heart of this building as well, the fact that we're within a co-op. The whole building is set up and managed by different businesses and different residents as a cooperative. So it's important to where we are and what we are.
Homes for Change is the housing cooperative of 75 flats.
Free inside Sunday, spilling out over the bed.
It's the members who are obliged to be part of a working group to take on various responsibilities of running the building.
Easy to let go of the hour hand when you're sure it's yours and there's the whole.
So within the same building as its sister cooperative, Work for Change, and the members are individual businesses. And then we are one of those individual businesses within Work for Change.
Watches in the heights, your nights in shining blue. All their sights on you.
It's quite a nested level of cooperatives. EcoB, OpenSpace, Work for Change, Homes for Change.
It's very much the ethos of the place is to encourage as many co-ops to come in and work in the area as possible. And it's, it's all about making good working space for people who are independent and don't necessarily want to be part of the mainstream commercial world.
I think it would be difficult with another landlord who didn't really understand what we were about.
There's a long history of social and environmental enterprises in the building.
And also because several of us have worked in cooperatives even within the same building. So we have good links to policies and expertise and stuff like that.
And there's a philosophy about sort of housing and work being integrated together rather than the sort of normal separation you get in our society.
Work for Change is a very beautiful building. It's a lovely environment to be in. It's a lot nicer than most standard office blocks.
It's a good location. It's set in the middle of a garden, next to the garden centre, if you wanted to go and eat lunch in the sunshine.
The fact that OpenSpace is a co-op and is surrounded by all these other co-ops is very much to do with Hulme and the history of Hulme. It used to be a very, very big old council estate built in that sort of prefabricated design, and lots of alternative people, if you like, gathered around the area because it was really cheap rent. It had come to be seen as this very run-down place and a very sort of problem area, but it was also really, really creative, and there was a lot of energy there, And once the main estate got demolished, it all got knocked down as an eyesore. People decided they wanted to build their own city block-sized co-op.
A lot of them have been squatting in the crescent flats and were aware of some of the positive aspects of that kind of communal living. And so when they got together and came up with the idea of designing a co-op building and getting funding, match funding from Europe to make it happen, as part of the redevelopment, I think they tried to keep some of the elements of design from the original crescents, like the walkways, for example, and the idea that people are living very close together around a green.
Hulme and being in Hulme is really integral to what OpenSpace is about. We're part of the history. Many of us have lived and worked in Hulme for years, and beyond that there's a longer history, a working class history, a creative, activist, environmentalist history, a migrant history as well, and that's shaped a very interesting, a very exciting part of Manchester. There's a lot of possibilities here, it's very creative, there's a lot of deprivation as well. There's a lot of bad things here.
It's still got a lot of the kind of social problems that were associated with the old estates I was talking about, the old deck access stuff that got demolished, the old crescents. But on the other hand, it's really, really vibrant as well, and it feels very real. It doesn't feel like a sort of little posh enclave somewhere. It's actually proper inner city with all its strength and ugliness.
Part of it, I think, is very much about the problems of the geography of regeneration and how that's affected Hulme, because while there's obviously some very positive parts of that, like Homes for Change and Work for Change and the Community Garden Centre here, the way that things like Asda and the brewery lie, and the way, I think, very much cuts Hulme off in some ways from wider South Manchester.
Hulme is a space that's recently undergone a lot of regeneration. Now the Manchester Metropolitan University are planning to move here. Also, the regeneration is starting to ground to a halt in terms of the economic outlook here. So where are things going to go in the future? How are people going to relate to the local area, the biodiversity here? How are people going to relate to the food, the energy, all kinds of things? So OpenSpace is a key kind of hub. We want to see it as a hub that helps people, gives them the resources they need. People come in, use the desks from the local area Hulme, they move in, they move out. So it's informed by the past, but also it's very much about the future of Hulme. We want OpenSpace to be a part of that, part of imagining where things are going to go, what kind of futures are going to be.